What up, YouTube? Big Lou tapping back in with what it do with Big Lou. NFZR2, no fly zone Rickens 2, baby. Uh, if this is the first time you're coming to this channel and checking me out for the first time, it'd be highly appreciated if you would sub, like, and share the channel with your family, your folks, your peoples, your gente, your comrades, whatever word terminology you use in your vocabulary, and you're into, your folks are into sports talk, please be sure to share this channel, and always feel free to comment. I always respond back to every comment. Usually I try to get them as soon as I see them. Sometimes it might be a day or two, but for the most part I get it. I respond. So with that being said, again, this is the first time you're coming to the channel, or you've been watching the channel for a minute but you haven't yet sub, please do so. It'd be highly appreciated. And also give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, and comment, and definitely share. With that being said, also the original channel, the No Fly Zone Ricans, also go over there and check us out. Same thing there. Sub, like, and share, comment. We will be coming back together, joining together like Voltron this coming Monday. The No Fly Zone Ricans will be live 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time. Don't be late. Be sure to be there, or at least go back and watch it after it's been recorded. But we always, as you guys always know, I put a big emphasis on how we appreciate each and every one of our subscribers, and those soon-be subscribers. Please sub, like, and share. Also, the No Fly Zone Ricans, as well as right here at What It Do with Big Lou, NFZR2. September 15th to October 15th is Latino Heritage Month, aka Hispanic Heritage Month. I don't really use the word Hispanic in my vocab when I describe my peoples or any other people of Latin descent. But anyways, for the video's sake, we'll go ahead and say Hispanic Heritage Month. That way we don't confuse people. As I mentioned in the video yesterday, the live, there was a couple things couple baseball players that were going to be making history shortly. One was Aaron Judd, but Aaron Judd's not part of this video. The other being Albert Pujols, two dingers shy of 700 home runs. There's currently only 3 guys who have 700 or more home runs, which is Barry Bonds, 762, Hank Aaron, 755, and Babe Ruth was 714. So as of right now, Albert Pujols is ranked as number 4 on the all-time home run list with 698. Even once he surpasses 700, he'll still be 4th. But he is he's Dominican. I believe raised in New York though, but born in the island of born in DR. And he also has over 3,000 hits. He's accomplished a lot in his career. Also the fact that he surpassed the 600 mark. He hit 600 and up. There's only I think 8 guys that's done that. Bonds 762, Hank Aaron 755, Babe Ruth 714, Albert Pujols 698. Another Latino, A-Rod, Alex Rodriguez, got 696. He is born here, though, but of Dominican descent. Willie Mays, 660. Ken Griffey Jr., 630. Jim Thome, 612. And Sammy Sosa, 609. I don't think I missed anybody. If I did, it might be one guy. I hope I didn't, though. But with that being said, even the 600 club is a big deal. And he's going to be entering the 700 club. Also, I mentioned Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera of the Tigers is Venezuelan. He currently has 504 home runs. I believe he's tied with Eddie Murray right now. And he has 3,081 hits. So he's part of the 3,000 club. Venezuelan, first one to do it. Also, what he accomplished being the Triple Crown winner back in 2012. It took 45 years for another player to accomplish that. The last time it was done prior to that was 1967. A Boston Red Sox player by the name of, he went by Yaz. Y-A-Z was short for Yastrzemski. And Carl did that in 1967. And all the way until 2012, it was Nobody had done it until Miguel Cabrera came along. For you out there that don't know what Triple Crown means that you led the league in batting average, home runs, and runs batted in for either the American League or the National League. In this case, both guys are from the American League, one from the Boston Red Sox, the other from the Detroit Tigers. So now it's been 10 years since he accomplished that in 2012. So you're talking a total of 55 years. It's been done once in 55 years. It's not in something that's done a lot. Even if you go past, further back than 67, it hasn't been done many times at all. Probably 2 times or 3 times. It's probably a total of maybe 5 times altogether. I'm going to research that and come back and let you guys know. But also, Puerto Rican-wise, we got 5 Puerto Ricans in the Hall of Fame. We got the first one was Roberto Clemente. Second one was Roberto Alomar. Then we got Pudge Rodriguez. What's his name? Edgar Martinez. Edgar Martinez did it Edgar Martinez might be born in Puerto Rico but raised in New York. And Orlando Cepeda. Those are the 5 Puerto Ricans that are in the Hall of Fame. And everybody knows Roberto Clemente was the first one. A lot of people say he's the greatest Latino player of all time. Definitely the greatest Puerto Rican player of all time. Orlando Cepeda was from back in that era as well, but he had a marijuana charge that kept him for many years of getting in there. He finally got in there a few years back. Right now, it's said that there's 20 Puerto Rican players. There's 20 Puerto Rican players in the major leagues as of right now, as of opening day this year. There's 74 people of Latin descent, players, coaches, broadcasters from the Negro Leagues, pioneer executive, founding members, that are in the Hall of Fame. 74 only. There's only, let me see if I can remember this off the top of my head. Cuban-wise, there's only like 4 Cubanos. Tony Perez. Let's see, Tony Perez. Yeah, he's the only one I could think of right now. Tony Perez. Tony Perez. There's only like 4 or 5 Cubans. There's only like 4 or 5 Dominicans. I know Dominican-wise, you got Pedro Martinez. You got Adrian Beltre. You got Juan Marcial. I named Tony Perez already. There's one more that's missing. A couple of these guys were from the Negro Leagues. Martin the Eagle and Jose Mendez. I'm not sure. I know Martin's in the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure. Cuban-wise, Dominicans, like I said, it's small. It's a small list as well. It's Pedro Martinez, Juan Marcial, Vlad Guerrero's in there. I believe Vlad's already in there, Guerrero, and Adrian Beltre. I don't think there's any Mexicanos in there yet, but we got Vlad Guerrero's in there, and then Rod Carew, Mariano Rivera are Panamanians. You got Luis Aparicio is Venezuelan. I'm not sure if Ozzie Guillen's in there yet. Omar Vizquel is another Venezolano that's been knocking on the door, but he hasn't been able to get in there yet. David Ortiz definitely is going to get in there. Carlos Beltran, probably another one soon. Carlos Delgado is probably knocking on the door. Maybe Dave Concepcion, Venezuelan. Johan Santana. Luis Tiant, Cubano. Minnie Minoso, those are Cubans. I think they should be in there. For those that don't know, Ted Williams, the old great from the 40s and 50s, is half Mexican. I believe since his last name is Williams, probably his mother's Mexican, unless Williams was his mother's last name and his father was Mexican. I don't know. I'll have to look into that, but he's Mexican. You had some greats from back in the day. Fernando Valenzuela, probably the greatest Mexican pitcher of all time. He had a few good seasons there before he started getting injured. Teddy Higuera is another Mexican pitcher. You had those guys are born in Mexico. Then you got like Sergio Romo. There's a few other guys that are mixed or that were born here, which are called Chicanos. If you're born in the United States of Mexican descent, you're Chicano. Or if you have one, some people say it's if one parent's from Mexico and the other one's from the States, you're Chicano. You got over the years you had Nomar Garcia Parra. I believe he's born here. Eric Chavez, they're born here, Mexican descent. You got Adrian Gonzalez. You got Vinny Castilla. You have, I know I'm missing one or two more. Vinny Castilla, Adrian Gonzalez. Those are badass Mexicans right there, right? Colombia, you had Edgar Renteria. Central America, no professionals as far as from El Salvador, from Guatemala, from Honduras. Nicaragua, you had Denny Martinez. Later, you had Marvin Bernard. But Denny Martinez definitely got to be the Nicaraguan great. I mentioned already Panama, which is Rod Carew, easy, and Mariano Rivera, easy. Colombia, you got Edgar Renteria, like I already mentioned that. Venezuela, I kind of mentioned a few guys. You got Pablo Sandoval. You got Miguel Cabrera. You got Ozzie Guillen. You got there's a lot. Matter of fact, there's a lot of them that I don't even know they're Panamanian. I mean Venezuelan. Melky Cabrera. That other Cabrera was playing for the Indians for a while, and Andrew Sal or something like that. The little guy from the Astros, he's Venezuelan, I believe. Altuve, and then Puerto Rican. The Puerto Rican stars of today is Carlos Correa and Francisco Lindor, y también means and also. The one was with the Cubs, Javi Baez. For a while there, the Puerto Ricans dominated the catcher position with Javier Lopez, Jorge Posada, Sandy Alomar, the Molina brothers, Benito Santiago. They dominated that that catcher position. Excuse me. Some greats people don't know. Puerto Rican Dickie Thon used to play for the Phillies. Bernie Williams, Yankees center fielder, because that last name's Williams, like with Ted. You know, they're Latin. Bernie's from Puerto Rico. You got Juan Gonzalez. You got Ruben Sierra. You got Carlos Baerga. You got Bartolo Colon. You got Juan Guzman, Dominican, played for the Toronto Blue Jays. George Bell's Dominican. They played with the Jays. You got his brother played also, Bell. I can't think of his first name right now. He was an infielder though. Juan Bell. You got Vlad Guerrero and his brother. The Alou brothers back in the day, Dominicans. At one point they played the whole center field were all Alou brothers. Jesus Felipe and Jesus Felipe and what was the other brother's name? Jesus Felipe. Wow, I can't remember. Jeez. Then you got Jose Cheo Cruz Sr. and then Jr. I believe Jose Cheo Cruz Sr. had a brother that played. And then you had Guillermo Hernandez, Don't Call Me Willie. You had, there was a lot of greats, man. Junior Felix, Felix Jose, Jose Canseco had a twin brother, Ozzie. You had Rafael Palmeiro. Cubano played first base. Outfield started out with the Cubs. You got Luis Gonzalez, another Cuban. I think he's from Florida though. You got Manny Ramirez, Sammy Sosa, Raul Mondesi. You had a lot of Diaz, Ortiz. These guys were catchers back in the 80s or mid 80s, late 80s. You had who else? Luis Diant was a bad pitcher. Juan Martial was before his time, you know, as far as a Latino being in the league, dominant player. Let's see, Jesus Felipe. Wow, I can't remember the Lou brothers. And then you got old school cats like Manny Minoso and Manny Mota, Bert Campy Campaneris, which I believe he's Venezuelan, I think. Or he might be Dominican. Concepcion is Venezuelan. Then you had Tony Armas, he's Venezuelan. Power hitter with the Oakland A's in the early 80s. Then he went on to play for the Angels. Candy Maldonado. Ariel Prieto. You had Johan Santana, like I mentioned earlier. And the list goes on and on with baseball players. I know I'm missing, keeping a few out that had some good-ass seasons. And football is a little more, way more thinner. You got Willie Colon, and Anthony Munoz, Max Montoya. You got Victor Cruz. You got Blake Martinez. You got Tony Romo. You got Rivera that played not too long ago with the Raiders. Michael Rivera. There's a lot of guys too that are mixed, mixed off black African American mixed with Latino. They'll have a Latino last name, Spanish last name. Yeah, there's more guys from the NFL. Those are the ones that are coming off the top of my head. Basketball, again, thin. You got Jose Ortiz. You got Ramon Ramos. You got Al Horford's pops, Tito Horford from the Dominican. You got Charlie Villanueva not too long ago. JJ Barrera. You got Carlos Arroyo. A lot more Spaniards in the NBA. Paul Gasol, Marc Gasol, Ricky Rubio, Calderon. There's a few other ones. And then you got some Brazilians, Nene. Carl Herrera was from Panama. And you got Nene from Brazil. There's a couple other guys from Brazil. There's a few other ones. There's a lot of actors and actresses and musicians that people don't know that are Latino. At one point here, I'll do profiles on some of them. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and shut this down. This is just giving a little respect and shouts out to some Latinos in the pro sports. And boxing, the list is way too long to go. I'll do a separate one just on boxing, just saying names, maybe a little bit profiling, but mostly saying names. But with that being said, again, if this is the first time you're coming to this channel, what to do with Big Lou, please sub, like, and share. And if this is the first time that you're coming to the channel, like I said, sub, like, and share. Also go over to the original channel, the No Fly Zone Ricans, and where I'm a part of a three-man squad with Nelson, Carlos, myself. And we will be live this Monday, the 26th, September 26th at 7:45 p.m. Eastern Time, 4:45 p.m. Pacific Time. Be sure to catch us. And if you haven't already, liked, and also share to that channel. All right. That being said, Big Lou, tapping out.